Welcome to another MIE Trak training video. We are going to discuss catalogs and catalog categories. This is an optional part of MIE Trak, but it's a very important part for companies who want to group items into many different areas for reporting, mainly reporting. You could actually do searches based on these. Some people have this idea of like ABC inventory. Well, you could create ABC catalogs and catalog lists of your different products. Another idea of catalogs is when you have a catalog for specific products that you sell different times of the year. So you could have a summer catalog, a winter catalog. But in manufacturing, catalogs are usually broken down into some type of groups. So for example, I have a hardware inventory catalog here, where you enter the name and a description, and you set it to a catalog type. Catalog type is just a higher designation. This is fixed. This is not user definable of a type of item. For example, standard items, kits, material, miscellaneous, outside processing. So this is a hardware catalog. And then you could put a title in there called hardware supplies. You create the date you created it, the last updated date, different things like that. And you could actually mark it as viewable. If you turn that off, you won't see that in your filter criteria. So what you have at the top level is your catalog. Then inside your catalog, you create categories. For example, under hardware inventory, I have 3 categories: nuts, standoff, screws, handles. You create as many as you want. These are totally user definable. You'd come into this section, hit new, create your item, associate it to an existing catalog, and save it. So in this example, I could actually create another catalog category called nails. And I could put a reference number if I wish, and save. And now I have nails in my category. Once you have your catalog and categories defined, and you could change these at any time, you could actually go to item maintenance and actually associate items to a catalog and a catalog category. In this example, I'm going to pull up a nut, and while that's pulling up, I don't have a nut there. Let me go to paint grip. This is a material. I could actually, in the item itself, go to the categories tab and actually associate categories to this item. So an example would be, you could have commonly used items all under one category, but they could also be, those same items could also be in a specific grouping for that specific type of item, like galvanized. Another example would be if I could put it as a hardware item, I pick my category, nails, and you could actually have multiple categories per item. One of the reasons you want to do this is for reporting, but also for searching. So if I click on the category search, you could actually pick a specific catalog type. And I'm going to say hardware inventory. I'm going to go handles, and here are all my part numbers. Now, one of the reasons you could do that is the ability to be able to search, filter by these. Another example of categories you may want to put in your system are customer specific. There are parts that are really customer specific, almost like government work and things like that, that you may want to actually classify those with the categories as specific types, but they could be under multiple areas at the same time. That is catalog and category maintenance and how to use it in an item.